All right, so we have some surprising news, some potentially very good news. Let me show you what broke. This is in USA Today. President Joe Biden plans to pull all military forces out of Afghanistan by September 11th, ending U.S. presence in the Middle Eastern nation by the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks that spurred America's longest war. The move will extend military presence in Afghanistan beyond the May 1st withdrawal date previously negotiated by former President Donald Trump. Concluding there is no military solution for the problems in Afghanistan, Biden will instead work to put the full weight of the U.S. government behind diplomatic efforts to reach a peace agreement between the Taliban and Afghan government, a senior administration official said. Quote, "But what we will not do is use our troops as bargaining chips in that process," said the official, who agreed to brief reporters on the plans Tuesday on the condition of anonymity. Biden will formally announce the withdrawal and other specifics in a White House speech Wednesday, detailing the way forward in Afghanistan, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said. So, there's a few things to say about this. Number one, pushing back that May 1st deadline, is that good? My answer is no. No. So what he's saying is, I need more time. So instead of May, it's going to be September. So he's extending the war. I mean, that's one way you could have phrased this, and one way you could have put the headline, is that Biden's extending the war and moving away from Trump's May 1st deadline. However, having said that, Trump's withdrawal wasn't a withdrawal. It was a bullshit withdrawal because he wanted to keep some troops on the ground. So I don't know where people get this idea from that it's fair to describe that as a withdrawal. It's obviously not. If you're staying there, that's the definition of not withdrawing. Now, yes, they yo-yo the troop levels and they bring them up and bring them down and bring them up and bring them down, but you're still there. So I think it's super misleading when people call that what Trump did a withdrawal. It wasn't a withdrawal. So right now we have 2,500 troops there. There's, by the way, 7,000 or so of our allies' troops are there. So, I mean, you have almost 10,000 troops there right now, which is ridiculous. And so I don't like that Biden pushed back the deadline, but according to every article on this, and I hope it's true, have my doubts, but I hope it's true, they say when Biden wants to get out September 11th, he actually wants to get rid of every troop there. So the bad thing is pushing back the deadline. The good thing is, apparently, according to everything I've read on this, he actually wants to take all the troops out. That would be phenomenal. That would be amazing. That would be wonderful. I would give him a lot of credit if he actually does it. Now, having said that, man, I don't know if they're going to do it because we've been burned before. Every time one of these stories comes out, like, oh, they're going to end the war in Iraq or war in Afghanistan, people dig up, like there's old tweets from State of the Union addresses where, or there's one from when Obama was live tweeting a DNC speech, I think, from Joe Biden, and Joe Biden said something like, we're going to be out of Afghanistan by 2014, period. And you got the president tweeting that, you know, basically encouraging it, saying like, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get out by 2014. Really? How'd that go? You didn't. You said we were going to fully withdraw. You committed to fully withdrawing, and then you didn't fully withdraw. Trump said 1,000,000 times we're going to get out, and then he didn't get out. So Obama said we're going to get out, he didn't get out. Trump said we're going to get out, we didn't get out. Biden, who was part of the Obama administration when they didn't get out, now he's saying we're totally going to fully get out. Bottom line is, man, I will believe it when I see it. So I don't want to be too doom and gloom in this segment because, you know, it is possible that at some point we do fully get out. But I also don't want to give you false hope, as in, like, the fact that he's saying this means it's actually going to happen, because they've said we're going to fully get out previously, and we didn't fully get out. There was even a time when the media ran stories as if we did, quote, silently withdraw from Afghanistan fully. That was another thing I saw on Twitter, these old articles from back then, from back in, like, 2014 or whatever, that were saying, that's it, we're out. We declared victory and we're out. And that wasn't true. So I'm very skeptical, but you want to know what gives me a little bit of hope? Here's what gives me a little bit of hope. The reaction to this from the establishment. They are losing their shit. They've gone crazy. They really have. And it's not just Republicans, and it is Republicans, but not just Republicans. It's not just, you know, intelligence agencies or the deep state or the military, although, again, it's them too. It's also Democratic senators. Menendez was like, oh, I don't think I like this. Shaheen was like, this is a bad idea. And so the fact that this is getting backlash from Republicans, from the military, and from Democrats leads me to believe maybe it's real. Maybe they know something that I don't. Maybe, they could tell that Biden's serious about getting out, and they're, of course, going out there like the loyal puppets and servants they are of the military-industrial complex and saying, whoa, 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 whoa. And by the way, the disingenuous framing is killing me. We covered this the other day, but now the argument is like, what about the women of Afghanistan? What about women's rights? What about women's rights? We have allied with warlords in Afghanistan, warlords who have child sex slaves. That's on the record. So, yeah, what about women's rights? Tell me. We're not there to protect them. Not even close. Not remotely close. So, it's just so shameless. So shameless, it's obviously not the reason that we're there. So anyway, but if he pulls through with this and does it, I give him massive credit, and that will be part of his legacy that's positive. If he actually withdraws every troop from the Middle East, it's positive. And he'll go down in history for that in a positive way. And I'll give him massive credit. I will tell you this, though. This is a real test of strength of character and principle and backbone. Because you know what's going to happen when he does it. Or if it's clear he's going to do it. We're already starting to see the beginning of it. But they're gonna hit him with everything. So here's a prediction. There's going to be a media report about an inevitable terror attack or something if the United States leaves. They're plotting a new attack. This is what they're going to say. Some anonymous intelligence agency goon or some anonymous Pentagon person, commander, general, whatever. Somebody's going to whisper in the ear of the mainstream media, oh, we have this big scoop that we want to give you. And the big scoop is going to be, if we withdraw, there's going to be a terror attack. And so we can't withdraw. Hear me now, quote me later. So that's going to happen. And the other thing that's going to happen is there will be extra media criticism and scrutiny if he pulls out. Any little thing that happens in Afghanistan, they're going to cover it with their hair on fire and say this happened because we left. So if the Taliban takes over a town, or if there's some sort of shooting, or if there's some sort of bombing, or they'll immediately write about it, hair on fire, say this is unacceptable, and say this is happening because Biden pulled out. And so the implication is we got to go back in. What are you going to do? We have to go back in. Look at what's going on. The sense of urgency, and again, this is because the media is largely, they're puppets of the establishment, including the military-industrial complex. And so whatever intelligence agencies say to them, they're just going to run with it uncritically and report it as if it's news and report the framing as if it's the only framing. So that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you in advance. This is before any of that's happening. I'm telling you that's going to happen because the military-industrial complex and the deep state made their mind up. They want us to permanently be there. And so they're going to do anything they can to bring that about. And if Biden gets in the way of those plans, they'll go after Biden in this kind of way and make it seem like it was a disastrous decision, even though it would be an overwhelmingly popular decision if Joe Biden were to do that. So I don't know how else to say it other than I really, really, really hope that he follows through and doesn't back down and doesn't buckle to the terrible arguments and the propaganda and everything. So I guess tentatively we'll give him credit and then we'll cross the bridge when we come to it and hopefully he follows through. Do I have a prediction? No. I'll just say the same thing I said when it was Trump and he said we're going to get out and then he didn't. Or when he said we're going to get out, I said, credit to him, let's see what happens. So I'll say the same thing about Biden. Credit to him, but let's see what happens. And I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't actually get out. I'd be disappointed and pissed, but I wouldn't be surprised. But you never know. There's also a possibility he really has had enough and he's getting out. So we'll see, man. Fingers crossed.